Hi there, Internet. Welcome to Adventure is Nigh Behind the Scenes. That's right. My name is Jack Packard. I am your Dungeon Master here for Adventure is Nigh. And very special this week, I am joined by Omar Ahmed.
Hey, it's me. I'm Omar Ahmed.
And then usually we have the players like give a little like...
I play
Omar.
I play the producer of Adventure is Nigh.
Omar, you're not on camera very often. You are behind the scenes guy. For those of you who don't know, Omar is a co-owner of Second Wind, a co-owner of Adventure is Nigh. He is our lead video editor. He's in charge of all of us video editors as far as Second Wind is concerned. As far as Adventure is Nigh is concerned, he is the co-editor, character creator, art director, producer, co-writer most of the times too. But yes, like if I am, I'm gonna consider myself the mother of Adventure is Nigh, and Omar is Papa.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess that'll work.
You make all of the characters. Like, you know, obviously, like our players have input. I give you kind of ideas for creatures, but you design them all in the style.
The way I like to think about it is that you conceptualize the world, you explain the world, and I show it.
Ooh,
yeah.
Wow, that's very good. I like that. And so Omar is here joining me today so we can run you through basically how I set up an encounter for Adventure is Nigh, how I set up my maps, how I get everything into FoundryVTT.
FoundryVTT?
Oh, you finally get to be in on the joke. I'm going to show you basically how I utilize Foundry, which is an incredibly powerful virtual tabletop that I only scratch the surface of for Adventure is Nigh and for my home games. I am going to kind of write a bit of an encounter here for the players, and I'll just kind of walk you through all the steps that I do to get Foundry ready for a session of Adventure is Nigh.
Yeah, I've never seen this part of the sausage making process, so I'm excited.
Oh, get your buns ready. The very first thing we're going to do is make a map. I use Dungeon Draft. We will make a new map. Now it is loading all of the asset packs for Dungeon Draft. You can get a crap ton of asset packs, extra doodly-doos for all like the little crap that I put in the maps. All the little crap that distracts my players that I just kind of put in there for world building, and my players think that it's very, very important. There's that moment in season 3 where Mortimer was like, "Oh, I see a book on a nightstand. That must be important." It wasn't. That was I just thought a nightstand should have a book. I thought
we got a good gag out of it though.
Yeah. Oh, this is way too big. You know what? We're gonna change this. We're gonna change this map size. This is way too big. What my thought is that in Westage, another, like maybe a house or another business has like a problem, and Borbus is going to tell like the players like, "Hey, you guys are adventurers. Your neighbor has a problem, and if you don't deal with it, it could influence your customer base," or something like that, right?
Love Borbus.
Love Borbus. We're going to choose our floor type, which is wood. We're going to choose our wall type, like this is going to be a brick house. This is going to be a brick. Oh, here we go. Here's some brick. And oh, there we go. We got the foundation already. It's just that easy, but you know, oh, here we will we'll undo that because we'll say like this is like or like this is like the front patio area.
Sure.
Is what we'll say. So then we need a door. There we go. We'll give them an easy door. And then I'm probably supposed to use the terrain.
Oh.
Which is... yeah, here we go.
Okay.
So now what we have here is like a cobblestone road, and then this is like a house or business outside of the road. So now we'll add some more walls, and if we're on the inside, these should be wooden walls. We're going to maybe put We're going to put a wall right here. That'll be a room. This will be a hallway. We'll put a wall. We'll put like a room right here. That's a good room.
Sure.
And then maybe this is like
an office.
Yeah. So this is like a whatever room. This will be like a kitchen. Okay, so now we just need some doors. Oh, I know. We need a bathroom.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because, like you got to have a bathroom. There
when you got to go.
Now we get to do the fun part. A part I enjoy significantly too much, which is adding crap.
Oh, lovely.
This is my crap library. Hold on, we'll get to the end of it. Look at all those rugs.
Oh my god, so many rugs. This is the part that drives me insane when I'm like pixel peeping the maps that you make to be like, what the hell did he put here? Is that a globe? Is that a potion? What is that?
Exactly. Well, and like a lot of this is just like what would be in a room. I'm trying to add, what's the word? What's that fun word? Verisimilitude, right? The appearance of realness. So I'm just trying to make it real and or give the players something to play with. Oh, here we go. This will just mess with Amy a little bit. We'll put some black ooze.
Oh man,
These are my black ooze assets, by the way.
Tar pit.
Here we go. Boom. Now some black ooze is seeping in, and that'll just be there to mess with Amy. Like, oh, yes, we're looking at a map. Oh, I have a notice from the king, and here is another book.
Nobody has things organized on a bookshelf. All their books are just scattered out in their house.
In my world, yes, because that's how, like, you can't see that part of my office. Like, oh, I guess you can. Here, you can see right here. Just my books are stacked everywhere. This is how I live my life. Here we go. So, like, here will be like a little like showpiece. So this would be a thing where it's like, obviously, like, we're joking and we're complaining about like the players getting caught up talking about this or whatever, but like all of these things are what I consider offers, right? Like I put stuff like this, especially if it's something intricate like this silver thing with the star on it, I will put that there in case a player does want to investigate it and we can come up with some random funny bullshit to be like, oh yes, that's the star of Deebledop. And now that's a part of the world, a real part of the world.
No, all these things, like the players just really, like Sherlock Holmesing your maps. It makes for some really cool moments in the episodes.
It can.
Though they never find your secret rooms.
I didn't put a secret room in this map.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay. I know what I'll do. So what should be the trigger for this? Oh, here we go. Oh, perfect. Here we go. Okay, so this is a rack full of weapons. And so in my DM mind, that could be the puzzle where it's like, oh, they have to pick up the right weapon and that will open the secret door.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where, as a DM, that's where you start adding your bullshit. Like if they investigate that room, you say one of the weapons has some writing on it. What kind of writing?
Crack in the wall. If only you had some bombs to blow open the wall.
Here's a fun. Let's see. So yeah, basically now I'm trying to find what we're gonna put in this secret room, and I think I have just the right asset. Ah, there it is.
Oh, lovely.
Look at that. So,
dang.
Yeah, there we go. And then we'll gems. Oh yeah, here we go. And then we'll put like piles and piles of gems all around the throne. and it's got a basement. So first
that was
thing
actually pretty fast. That's a pretty fully decorated home, except
right?
for the one room, but yeah.
Well, then we are going to export it. So now there's a ton of options for exporting to Foundry. One of the neatest one is Universal VTT. And what that does is that actually saves all of your wall data so that you don't have to make your own walls, which is incredibly helpful and time saving. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save it as a WebP file just because a WebP file is incredibly small. It's a very It's a very light file, and I have so many goddamn maps that I want to make sure that it's running as smooth as possible. And especially like when Jesse is using his old Linux laptop to run this thing. I want to make sure that my maps are as smooth and buttery as possible.
It's operating it with punch cards.
Exactly. For me, I turned the grid off. If you notice, I can't zoom in right now, but if you turn the grid off, it turns the grid off because Foundry has its own built-in grid that I feel works better.
Okay, so that would otherwise bake the grid into the map.
Correct. Now I will show you how we make caves, which I think is super cool. Let's see here. You can change your ground and wall color, so I'm just trying to make this as fun as possible. And then you just start making your cave.
Oh, that's really cool.
And so, you can make little things. You can make extra little paths. And it's in 2 seconds, I have a neat looking cave system, right?
Yeah, that's dope. And it auto jaggies the edges.
Because we're going to add a little fun thing over there. Here, we'll add a little thing over here and a little branching path over here. So now we have lots of options for crap. What we do need is our stair right there. And this is their weird-ass purple and blue cellar. Okay, so now we have 2 walls, so we can put a secret over here, right?
Sure,
But these bricks stand out a little bit compared to the cave walls. So then what I usually do is I add random jaggies here and there.
Right.
Just to throw the players off. Is oh yeah, every wall kind of looks weird. Oh, I know. We can add a little water system because there's sewers, right?
Oh yeah, there you go.
There's sewers.
Oh, this is where the toilet goes down to.
The world building. We are going to paint with water. There we go.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So now there's a little water hazard. And maybe that's a clue to something. I don't know. Ooh, yeah. So now what we have here is they would need to get in the water to go around.
Oh.
Or they can find the secret path, right?
Or there are piranhas in the water.
Exactly. Some bullshit. There's some bullshit. Okay, you know what? That is a pretty good cave map. I'm actually relatively pleased with it.
Sure.
All right, so now we are going to jump into FoundryVTT.
Oh my God, FoundryVTT.
Here is our adventure is Night Club. I'll start with organization. Here's all my scenes. So this is General on Gandari. All the Castle Sasha scenes, they're all organized. You can color code Destiny's Keep, the Fauna Folk territory, Flora Folk territory. People know we're going there for season 4.
Sure.
Let's see here. Jesus, Jeebus Crisp. Yeah. Can you...
Sweet
so
Lipton's grave. Good times.
Here's the cabin, that sort of things, and here's in Westage. So I have a scene for the Westage
fun.
world map. I have the Adventurers Nightclub, the second floor, the basement, all like the normal things, and I can obviously go through them really easily. The great thing is it's the same with characters. And so like here is all of my NPCs organized by species. Other? What could other mean? Who knows?
Ooh.
Oh, like anus is in other.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly easily, it's like, oh, we need Egalier to hop in here. Boom, she's right there in my Asmars. I can drop her in any scene.
Oh my god.
So like I drop in Egalier here. The other really neat thing about Foundry, just quick sales pitch, is these little macro keys down here.
I was gonna ask about that.
So the one that I have is the character roll dice, which is a macro key to roll 4d6 and drop the lowest. For very easy character creation. First of all, 2 6s in that. That was a pretty damn good roll.
Nice.
The other 2 macro keys are ones that I made myself, which we use for Adventurers Nigh, which is flipping the character image. Here's Egalier, and let's say she's talking. Here we go. Here's Hugely, right? So Egalier's talking to Hugely. I want Egalier to face Hugely. Now I can just press one button. If I didn't do that, I would have to go into Egalier settings, go into appearance, go into mirror image, click horizontally, then click update token.
Okay, so you just customized the hotkey for that.
I just customized a little
Very
macro
nice.
hotkey. Okay, so now let's bring in those maps that we used. Go here to Westage, and we are going to add a new scene. It's Lupus. Because this is a scene in a house, and so like Dr. House MD, it's always Lupus. You're welcome.
I love that the root of the joke is just that it's in a house.
It's in a house, right?
That's all you need. So many things we're going to be blurring.
So many things we're going to be blurring. So here's Adventurers Nigh maps. Here's where I hold all my maps. We're going to upload our new file. For the grid size, I know that the standard size is 256. For the pixel size per grid, everything else it will do automatically. So I'll just click Save Changes. It'll say, hey, this is a different size. Do you want us to change it automatically? The answer is yes. And
Hey, there's our map.
And there's our map. Easy peasy. Now we have our house in here, but if we drag a player in here, here's Albert. Albert, oh, look, he can just walk through walls. He can see everything.
Oh, no.
Right? That's no way. That's no way to be. Because we have to make all of our crap. We got to make all of our walls and stuff. So over here, click on the wall tool. Click on the basic walls. That sort of thing. Then we're going to start making walls. Whoa.
Okay. So you don't have to make 90-degree angle walls. Like, they could be any angle.
They could be any angle. Circles are hard because they have to be straight lines.
Okay. Yeah, so you're just doing like for a circle.
They do have to be straight lines is the general rule. And then if you notice here, I'm making like a little space for a door. Whoa, excuse you.
Oh, I see.
And I'll tell you why in a moment. Here we go. Oh, I want you to intersect with this. Thank you. And then we'll make a little wall here. Perfect. This thing needs walls. And you can either lay down one line like I did right there, or after you lay down your first line, while I'm still holding the mouse button, if you hold down Control, it just makes the next line automatically. So that's what I'm doing there. Okay, so now we have like basic wall. Oh, whoopsie, I forgot. But, here we go. I forgot to make the door right here. Yeah, no problem. We'll just fix it. And you're going to attach there. You are going to attach there. Boom. And if you get these circles lined up, they will automatically attach. So then, so I got to make these walls here, but this is a door. And so it depends on which section of the wall you highlight. So if you see here, I highlight this section, the 2 circles on either side embiggen, right? So that's this wall section. I don't want that's a wall. I want that to remain a wall. I'm looking at this wall section. So I double click on it and I get my wall options. Movement restrictions, normal. Light restrictions, normal. Sight restrictions, normal. Door configuration is door. Boom. Boom. So now this is a door. So if we go back to Albert, now Albert sees the little door token and can open and close the door.
Oh, fun.
And more importantly, can't walk past it. So now we need everything to be a door. So we'll click back on walls. You're a door, and you're a door. So like I have all 3 highlighted, so I can just double click on one, change them all to doors. Boom, all 3 of them are now doors.
How would we configure the secret door?
Ooh, excellent question. So there's a couple ways you can do that. One is just keep it a wall, and then if they discover it, you can always turn the sight restriction to none, or we can turn it into a secret door. So if I click on this wall, we'll say this whole wall is a secret door. Door configuration, secret door instead of door. And you see now it's like it's a little more like pinky than purpley, right?
Sure.
So if I click on Albert, here, we'll bring Albert in here, and we'll bring Albert in here. So now what I as the DM see is this door symbol. But Albert, the character, like if a player were to do that, the player would not see this symbol. They would only see a wall. But now as a DM, I'm able to open that door and close that door with ease.
Okay, so that's not something the player has control over. You would have to go in and open the secret door.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
But instead of fumbling through the wall menus, I can do that easily. Whereas if this symbol right here is a door that the player can click on and open and close that door.
Very cool.
I think so. So here, let's go back here. Actually, let's reset our fog of war to show you what Albert would see. So like, Albert now, again, cannot see this little door symbol. That's only because I'm the DM, and it knows I'm the DM. But as Albert explores around now, he's looking at stuff. Now, hopefully you would hope that like, oh, there's a bathroom in here. There's a room in here. And there's this big black space right there. That could just be empty space that the DM forgot about. But you would like to think that.
Yeah, it's a very oddly shaped house. Just has a chunk missing out the side.
So weird. So let's bring in an NPC. Let's bring in just a regular NPC. Oh, we need a name. We need a name, Omar.
Consult the book.
This will be... That's right. So this person will be Rude Valcabra. Rude Valcabra.
Rude Valcabra.
Why? I don't know. Rude Valcabra. Create new actor. So when you create a new NPC, they are a standard NPC, 10 hit points, 10 in everything. Omar has made for me a couple characters. Let's see, who's going to be Rude? So, obviously I could change up the stats a little bit if I wanted him to be like a more powerful NPC, but this is just a dude. This is Rude Valcabra right here.
Yeah,
right?
Tens across the board, very just average.
Tens across the board. So, Albert is investigating Rude Valcabra's house, right? But the really neat thing about this fog of war, or about like the walls here, is like if Rude goes around the corner and we look from Albert's perspective, you can't see Rude. Oh, there you are.
Oh, there he is.
I think like adding that kind of like video game logic where it's like if I wanted an enemy to be hiding behind a wall and my player is exploring this room, and then all of a sudden, huh, there's something around the corner, right?
Yeah, and that's something you couldn't do if you were doing like physical minis or on a physical grid.
Exactly.
Really cool.
I think stuff like that's neat. Basically, that's where map making can end, and that's where a lot of times it does end. But we can have a little more fun with it. Like, for example, a lot of times I will put traps into maps. So let's say there's a toilet trap, right? And as maybe like there's a monster in a toilet or something like that, and I want to say, like, if my player crosses this line, they will activate the trap. Oh, but Albert can see that line. We can't have that happen, right? So as a DM, what I can do is I can ghost it. So now we're going to use the power of imagination because, again, I am logged in as the DM, so I can see this line. But if you look closely now, like, it has some opacity to it, which means to the player it is invisible. So Albert could be like, oh, I want to explore the toilet. And as soon as he crosses this line, I know, something's popping out of the toilet. I can make little notes for myself. I can add little images. Like, let's say Rude is hidden somewhere, right? But I want to keep him in the scene for easy access. I can just invisible Rude and, stow him like out here, boom. And so then Albert's like, I crossed the threshold. Me as the DM can bring Rude in and be like, behind you, out of nowhere comes Rude Valcabra. That sort of thing.
Oh my god. Yeah, I noticed you doing that quite a bit because Season 4 was the first time I had a sneak peek behind the Foundry game while we were actually filming. So many characters that didn't even get brought in. That you guys will never know about.
Oh my god, so many characters. But it's like, it's that kind of stuff where as a DM, speed can be our greatest asset. And it's like, oh, well, I just have these things ready to go. Or like, what they've seen us do a lot is like, Rude spills some water. And so we go, oh, well, then, this area right here is covered in water and it's now slippery. So like, there's tons of things you can do to mark up your map to keep that theater of the mind feel within a virtual tabletop. Where like, oh, I want to pick up this stove. Oh, okay, well, shit, I can't move the stove. It's baked in to the map. So, I know, I'll make a little stove-shaped thing here. And we'll turn the fill type to solid. And we will make it gray. And we will update drawing. And we will, let's see here, fill opacity at 100. Okay, boom. So now I have a little stove asset. And so if we want to move the stove, if a character wants to carry the stove, we know that this is the stove, right?
Sure.
Because why not? And I was like, oh, okay, guess what? This isn't here anymore. Which is like, for my home games, this is stuff I do all the time, where we need to mark things on a map and the players need to know. And so the flexibility offered is phenomenal. So that's how we would do that. Now, why don't we head to the cellar? New scene. Cellar is Peter. Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers. I should not give all of my maps joke names because it makes it very difficult to remember what is what.
But then you have them organized in subcategories, so it's fine.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Select file. Grid 256. Like I said, that's a standard size. We're going to turn this on, and we're actually going to make this one dark to begin with.
Caves are dark.
Caves are dark.
Yeah.
All right. So here is our dark cave, but I put these torches in the dark cave. So we can go to our light controls.
Very cool.
Make some torch lights. Now what we can do is make them torchlight color. That's way too intense. But we can control the intensity, and you can even add animations, which is so flippin' cool. There we go. Oh, I love stuff like that. Oh, but of course, the light's going through the walls because I didn't make the walls. This is one where I probably should have just let the auto wall thing happen, but we'll just make our walls.
Here we go.
We'll just make our walls real quick and dirty here.
Oh no, it's not accurate.
Oh no. Yeah, biblically accurate walls. Come on.
It's just comprised of eyes.
That would be awesome. Oh no, my walls. Obviously, we are being real dirty here. We are being real dirty, and then we need a wall there and a wall there. So now you can see that, our light actually acts natural, where it would cast light here, but not here. And I could do the same thing and make other lights, or I can just click on this light, click copy, paste it. Oh, excuse you, you're on that side of the wall. Great. Oh, and paste it. Boom. And as you can see here, the reason why I didn't bake in the grid lines is because Foundry's grid lines are a little softer.
Right.
And that's even something you can change, which I really like. Oh, grid opacity is at 0.2. What if we want it at 0.1? Yeah, then it's even softer. So it's not distracting. That's my big worry is I don't want my players looking at the grid. So here's the other thing that we will do here is let's see, I believe in the compendium, in our monster compendium, there should be giant rat. It is a giant rat, but also that's a pretty small. It's a giant rat.
Yeah, if that was a real rat, I'd be like, that's a giant rat.
Fair. I guess if you put it up to Albert, yeah. So what I do for a lot of my monsters is I start with a standard creature. So this is a standard D&D creature, a giant rat. Here's all of its stats. It can bite. But I don't want to use this art style in Adventurers Nigh. So what I do here is I click on Token, Appearance, and instead of using this one, I use one that Omar made for me. Update token. Boom.
Oh, there he is.
There. Hold on. There he is. And then we can, there we go.
Yeah.
So here is our giant rat token. Which is
one of the things I usually ask you is the scale for the creatures I'm designing.
Yeah.
Something I forgot to ask this time, but I did design this with the intention of it being probably a 2x1 or 2x2 scale.
Oh, sure. Well, and that's okay because we can always change that. So if we go to our token here, its dimensions, let's make it 2.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
By 2. What if we wanted this to be a giant rat?
Oh, there you go.
Boop.
Ooh.
Yeah, so now Albert has got a real problem on his hands where he's got this giant rat. And so for me as a DM, obviously you can see the health bar of the giant rat. If we did some damage to the giant rat, so let's say -2. Ooh. Now he's looking pretty hurt. Now let's minus 3. Ooh, you can see his health bar depleting. Which for me as the players cannot see the health bar, but for me as the dungeon master, keeping track of what enemy has what amount of health is super important. But that's also something I can turn off. Here in the rat sheet, I can display the bars. I can say never display. That turns it off. Something I usually like to do is hover the name. Hover by owner, right? So if I put my mouse over this, I know this is giant rat. Because I often forget the names I give my NPCs, I hover over them to learn their names. Again, that is something the players cannot see. But yeah, this is all like my little behind the scenes peek. To me, like the most important thing, if we're taking anything away from this, it's this organization. We have been recording now for a little under an hour and a half. And I have made 2 maps, imported them, made all the walls, added lighting, added secret doors, added NPCs in an hour and a half.
Tested combat with those NPCs.
So like the speed at which you can create scenarios for your players, unparalleled. But to me, it's this organization where, I want to find this one thing really quick. Boom, I can do it. I want to find this one rule, this one monster.
It's the equivalent of you being, behind your DM screen with a shelf of books behind you with a bunch of sticky notes in those books, and then boxes of minis all categorized.
Something really, really neat. Sigmar is a homebrewed archer class. You are actually able to make not only your own class, but leveling up system for Archer, which like I had to create all of his like bullshit that he gets to use with a homebrew class. You can set your own advancement points. You can make up your own class, and a character just needs to hit the level up button, and it's once you have done it, it automatically does it. I had to do this for KC. He doesn't know how much work I put into his stupid bullshit archer class. I'm
done. Sure, he appreciates it.
He does. This is Dabarella's War Chef bullshit that I've had to add into Foundry. Sigmar's hand.
His dwarven hand.
Sigmar's dwarven hand. It needs to work. And I want to make sure that it works for my players at the push of a button. There is a reason why I keep using Foundry, even though there are now several other virtual tabletops out there, is because of the organization and flexibility of what I'm able to do within the system. And I think there are some flashier virtual tabletops, but nothing, in my opinion, is as flexible as Foundry.
Really, like, there's so many virtual tabletops, but how many will run on Jesse's crappy, like, diesel-powered Linux computer?
So yeah, that's a little behind-the-scenes peek at how I make the worlds, how Omar assists in making the worlds, and how I run the game for the players. Why Omar is scatterbrained all the time, because I say, wouldn't it be cool if we had a giant rat? Can you make me a giant rat reel, please?
It's okay. Anything for the cause. I mean, really, this was just a highlight of how much work you put into this show that people don't even think about. Everyone appreciate Jack more, because he makes the maps, he edits the show, he does so much. And he runs the game.
And then I have to perform on top of it, absolutely. Oh boy.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom. But hopefully this gave you a little insight into not only how we run the show, but how I run the games, and how you can use FoundryVTT to run your own games. I recommend it all the time. Great.
Great company, great software.
Great. Everything's great.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right. Bye.